Hello there captains, and welcome to this example battle of the Tier 3 German tech tree battlecruiser von der Tann. Von der Tann is the first German ship in the battlecruiser line. Now let's take a quick look at the equipment setup and commander skills. Not much to see here though, it's only a 3-point captain and there's not an awful lot you can do to configure the ship. Looking at the matchmaking then, once again the replay bug prevents us from seeing the enemy team, but we have 4 destroyers on each side and 2 aircraft carriers, so an interesting game from a battleship perspective. Now von der Tann was a real ship in the German Navy during the First World War. She participated in bombardment of the British coast and took part in the Battle of Jutland, where she sank HMS Indefatigable. Von der Tann has decent speed for this tier, so you can use her in a flanking position, which is what I'm going to do initially in this battle, while we wait to see how the battle picture emerges, and I'll be looking for targets of opportunity. I'm just looking at the mini-map at the moment when I talk about battle pictures, just to see how my own team deploys. You may have noticed in the matchmaking that all of the destroyers on my team are in 2 different divisions, and you can see them pairing off now in a buddy system. If you read about von der Tann in the World of Warships wiki page, it describes it as having a poor rudder shift and a very large turning circle, but that's not something that I noticed in game. In actual fact, I find her manoeuvrability quite comfortable for this tier. Okay, here's our first target. Here we go, incoming aircraft. Now watch this. Again, on the wiki page, it would describe the anti-aircraft fire on von der Tann as being decent for this tier, but I can't recall ever having shot down a plane in von der Tann. Meanwhile, that shot on the enemy Caledon, a citadel, and almost 8,000 damage from one salvo. Okay, let's try our luck once more. Shots away. Oh, and here we have incoming torpedo. So let's check that turning circle now then. Speed reduction as well, but that served us well here. Hey, and the side benefit, the torpedoes compelled us to give a better angle towards the Kaiser. And here's another opportunity. Let's see how we do here. Nothing. Well, that's less than I was hoping for. Generally speaking, I find the artillery dispersion of von der Tann to be completely workable, but RNG is RNG. Better. And another citadel. Okay, here come more aircraft. Let's see how many of these we shoot down. Question asked and answered. 2 attack flights and not 1 plane shot down. Only 1 turret available for the shot against the Kaiser. And if you take a look at the turrets, look how slowly they turn. You really do have to try to anticipate where your next shot will be, so you can start to turn your turrets early. Our team at the moment is heavily biased on the west side of the map, so this flank is a potential opportunity for an enemy push, so need to prepare myself ready for that. Alright, let's see if I can lob the island to hit that Cordoba. So, no. Let's switch targets to the Queen Mary then. Hey, look, here we go. We're starting to see evidence of an enemy push on this flank now then. My team's making a push towards the enemy base as well in the west there, so my role's clearly defined now then. It's to delay the enemy on this flank. I'm not going to take all of these ships on my own though, so hopefully the Farangs can have an impact there and inflict some damage. And in fact, there you go, takes one of the enemy ships down, but it's sunk itself as well. His buddy's not looking too healthy there either. So he doesn't want to get spotted now, should be backing off and just torpedoing from max range. Right, here comes the enemy Clemson, so I need the RNG gods on my side now then to manage my dispersion. 3 full pens, that'll do for starters. Right, I have 2 separate destroyers at right angles on my position, so I want to keep varying my course and speed now to avoid torpedoes, or at the very least to make their aim more of a challenge for them. Oh look, here comes that Caledon again, but he doesn't have island cover now. Let's see what we can do with this fella. Ah, just the shots away, I spot the enemy destroyer as well. Okay, an enemy destroyer sailing broadside onto you. Expect torpedoes. Okay, Queen Mary takes down the Caledon. Good job. Okay, the Issachaza is the closest threat to our base, so let's see if I can do something to put the Issachaza off. Looks like Langley is going to spot the Clemson as well, so grateful for that. Oh, here come the torps, but out of range. That could have been unpleasant.
Our team has taken the lead.
Alright, Issachaza's backing off, and we have our team now starting to take the enemy base. Right, let's turn our attention back to that Clemson. Actually, I want to get turned all the way around so that I'm angled against the enemy ships to the north of our base. I've taken 2 torpedoes so far in this battle, and I've had a fair amount of incoming fire from the enemy ships, and the armour stood up pretty well. Okay, let's test the armour on that Clemson now then. Time for a slapping. Wait, what? Nothing? And then 2 full pens from the rear turret.
Problem solved, sir.
Only one pen this time, but at least she's on fire. Absolutely nothing again. Taken down by Langley though. That's good news, but not so good news in terms of our ambition to hit destroyers in the future. It looks like the dispersion is very hit and miss in that respect. It doesn't look like I'm going to have time to go and help on the enemy base, so let's go and look for this Isokaza. Just one pen on the Turenne. I want to slow down here to give myself a chance of another volley on the Turenne. Looks like she's going to beach. Here we go then, sitting target. Ah, but she's taken down before I get the shots away. Back to the Isokaza again then. Hunting a destroyer in a battlecruiser, what I'm really looking for here is to be detected. I think we're seeing a good clue here because the capture of the enemy base has become arrested. So the Isokaza must be in that base somewhere. This one looks in the bag now then, all over by the shouting pretty much. The enemy carrier should go down very soon. And we just need to find that, and there she is. If we can take down the Isokaza, then that should be that. There's not really much more for me to do now then at this point. I don't have the speed to be able to close the distance to get away any shots on either of the two remaining enemy ships. So what have we seen so far with Von der Tann? In terms of the anti-aircraft fire, although there's not been much of a test, I think we can all agree it's unremarkable at best. She has a decent speed for this tier, and I'm going to contradict the World of Warships wiki at this point to say that I actually find her rudder shift and manoeuvrability fairly comfortable for this tier. We haven't seen her guns in action up close and personal, but in my experience Von der Tann is not a brawling ship. You want to be playing more mid to long range. But let's further qualify that, more mid than long. Her dispersion is decent, but it can be wonky at times, but then hey, we're talking tier 3 here. So that's a brief summary of Von der Tann under my command. Hopefully this has been a good enough example for you. What do you think? Let me know. There we go. Final scores then. 34,000 damage. We did get 2 citadels in this game. And check this out. That was enough to give us 3rd place in the team. Just time then to thank you for watching this video. I'm wishing you all the best in your battles in Von der Tann. Bye bye.